When we think about ancient humans, we imagine cavemen hunting animals while women gather berries. They sit around a campfire, tell stories, laugh, and sleep under the stars. Sounds peaceful, almost wholesome, like a nature documentary with good vibes. But what if I told you early humans were far more terrifying than we ever imagined? They were actually pretty wild, even by our standards. So today, I'm going to throw some genuinely disturbing facts in your face about ancient humans that might actually give you nightmares. Honestly. Let's start. Fact 1. They were the ghost for other animals. Persistence hunting. Wild predators were obviously stronger than early humans. They could tear apart a human in one blow. But human endurance at that time was godly. And when it came to food, they could not see anything else. So they did something called persistence hunting, a way of hunting by becoming a ghost. Getting close to a wild animal meant getting destroyed. So instead, they stayed just far enough away, completely still, like a group of dark shadows. And wherever the animal went, they followed, without resting, without getting tired, like machines.
Imagine being a mammoth. You walk for 5 hours and look back. Those dark figures are still there. Same distance, same position, just standing and staring. No expression, no sound, just watching. Always watching. So you run and run, but they never leave, like an evil spirit that never lets go. The animal starts to panic mentally. Sometimes days would pass, and those humans were still there, in the exact same distance, staring. It felt like a horror movie scene. Eventually, the animal collapsed from pure exhaustion, unable to move another inch. And only then did the ancient humans walk over and finish it. Early humans were basically the world's first stubborn serial killers. Your speed meant nothing. Your strength meant nothing. They just never stopped coming. Fact 2. Tribal wars. What if I told you the most dangerous thing in the ancient world wasn't a wild predator? It was other humans from a different tribe. It was only around 15,000 years ago that humans started living in fixed territories. And that's exactly when things got dark. A tribal war could start at any moment. One ordinary day. Children playing, women talking, men preparing food. And just a few hours later, an absolute massacre. Everyone dead. That was the true horror.
When tribes started farming, they needed fertile land and reliable water. They stored food and grain. Their populations grew. They no longer had to move every day to survive. But when one tribe had all of this perfectly settled, another tribe would raid them, loot everything, and massacre the clan to take that land. So, basically, the original inspiration for Great Britain. These tribal wars were not structured battles. They were complete chaos, wild, brutal, relentless, fought with stone axes, knives, and daggers, since metal hadn't been discovered yet. Archaeologists have found evidence of massacre so severe that at one point there was a shortage of men so extreme, it reached just one man for every 17 women. Yeah, sounds like your dream. But it was actually so serious that humanity almost went extinct. Whoever won the war decorated and marked their territory with the skulls and bones of the dead. Surviving women and children from the losing tribe were taken to boost the winner's population. The men were kept as slaves to work the farms. That was the root of slavery. Right there, around a campfire, over a piece of fertile land.
everything we consider the darkest parts of human history, war, slavery, genocide, didn't start with civilization. It started here. And humans haven't really changed. We just upgraded the weapons.
Fact 3. Cannibalism. The first two were expected somehow. Disturbing, but expected. This one is bone-chilling. Ancient humans actually ate each other. Not a movie concept. Real cannibalism. And archaeologists have found traces of it going back as far as 1 million years ago. Now, before you judge, it wasn't always what you think. There were 3 very different reasons it happened, and each one is more disturbing than the last. The first reason was pure survival. Around 20,000 years ago, during the peak of the Ice Age, sudden climate change and failed animal migrations left entire tribes with no food and no farming to fall back on. A tribe of 24 people. Men coming home empty-handed for days. Children getting weaker. People dying of hunger. One person had the idea to eat the ones who had already died. Then the Ice Age continued. The dead couldn't feed everyone, so they turned to the ones who were too weak to survive much longer anyway. And some tribes even hunted rival tribes specifically for food. Honestly, we might not exist today if they hadn't.
The second reason was victory. After winning a tribal war, some tribes ate the flesh of defeated enemies as a sign of dominance, to show neighboring clans exactly how dangerous they were. They believed that consuming the heart, brain, or muscles of a brave warrior meant physically absorbing that warrior's strength. They were definitely high when they came up with that one. After eating the flesh, they kept the bones and skulls as trophies, or carved them into cups to drink from. The world's first personalized drinkware. But the third reason is the one that stays with you. It was love. A young man and his partner, deeply in love. She dies. And at the funeral, he eats her. Not because he was a psychopath. Well, he was. But it was a ritual. The belief was that consuming your dead loved one kept them alive inside you forever. It was the ultimate act of grief, of love, of not letting go. Imagine doing that today. You'd be either arrested or become the worst headline in human history. But back then, it was completely normal. And honestly, who are we to judge? We put dead people in boxes underground and visit them on weekends. Every culture has its rituals. Theirs were just closer. A human species is always weird. They would probably vomit at some of our habits today too.
Honorary mention. Trepanation. Before you ask what that word means, it's actually medicine. Ancient medicine. Around 9,000 years ago, during the age of tribal warfare, head injuries and trauma were extremely common. And the doctor's solution was to drill a hole in your skull with a sharp stone knife to relieve the pressure. No anesthesia, no antibiotics, 3 people holding you down by your hands and legs while someone carves into your skull. You're screaming, they're drilling, and the disturbing part? It actually worked. They used this procedure to treat seizures, migraines, and head trauma. Archaeological evidence shows many patients survived. I personally would rather die, but respect. These facts seem like they belong to monsters, but they don't. They belong to us. The same species that drilled holes in skulls for medicine, ate each other to survive ice ages, and decorated their territory with bones, also built languages, raised babies with everything they had, and fell in love so deeply they couldn't let go even after death. That's the most disturbing fact of all. We are all of it. Every single part. like, share, and subscribe. Or get a hole in your skull. See ya.